SharePoint is becoming more and more popular for content and document management. I know we use it here quite a bit by storing our project schedules, architecture docs, and so on. Starting with Toad Data Analyst 3.1, we offer exporting and importing to SharePoint lists. SharePoint lists can easily be treated as a data set. Now I happen to use this every month by exporting a report that shows all of the connection types that we use in Toad DataPoint. So let me show you how to do this. First of all, you're going to need to set up your options for SharePoint. So open up your options, and underneath Environment SharePoint, you need to enter in your URL and then press Test. This will confirm that it's successfully connected to your SharePoint server. If there is an error, and let's just make an error here artificially, it's going to be one of three things. Either that URL is wrong, or you're not connected to 2010, or you don't have privileges. We actually only support version 2010. They had a major API change, and so we did not port it back to the older versions. So once you have that set up, let's go ahead and see how I export my SQL results to SharePoint. So let's first go to the export wizard, and we're going to want to enter in our SQL. Oh, I don't have my SQL in my clipboard. That's okay. We'll go ahead and grab that. There you go. So next you want to choose the export type as SharePoint list. It's the very last one on the list. And when you get to this point here, you can append to an existing list. So these are all of your existing lists on that SharePoint server. Or I like to just create a new list, and I use this option here. Go ahead and drop and recreate the table so that I know I have a fresh new table every time. At the end, make sure and save a template, because this is what you can use to automate with. So you go ahead and execute this. And this is a really great way to export just small reports to a collaborative site. Now to import data, you're going to want to use the import wizard. The import wizard is going to import to whatever the current connection is. So we can see here's the current connection, or the current connection is up here. In this case, I don't have privileges to store data here, so I want to use a local sandbox. You can either use Toad Sample database, or in my case, I'm using the local storage database that comes with the Pro version. So I double clicked on that to make it the current connection, or you could have changed it from up here. Now what we want to do is open up the import wizard, and we're going to select to import using the SharePoint type. When we do this, on the left, we're going to see all of the lists available, and when I click on them, I get a preview of the data here. So after you select your list, you can also select which columns you want. Let's say if I don't want that one, I can go ahead and delete that. Now this is going to import it into my database. So at this point, this is fine. I'll do that. I want to do it into a new table. Let's call it Demo Task, and drop or recreate it if it happens to exist. And again, let's go ahead and save this as a template, because we want to use this in automation. I want to do this process of exporting and importing every week. And then there is my rows in my new database. So to automate this, we want to open up a automation window, and we add an export wizard activity. I don't want to use the current connection. I want to just use the connection that was in my template. I'll just point to my template. That's all I really need to do for that one. And to use the importing wizard, I again deselect this and just go and select the template that I made and give it a name and run the script. And there I have automated my exporting and importing from SharePoint. I'd make sure and go and check your list though. See how it looks. Over here is my SharePoint site, and I can see that I just this is the list that I just imported, and I can take a look at the data and see that it's all there. So voila, you've automated your data to and from SharePoint. Have fun.